In the top stories, Constable Everton Gittens to stay in prison until August. Waste haulers meet with the Environment Minister, and West Indies women beat Sri Lanka. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, May 18, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles. The court case against Constable Everton Gittens is expected to get underway in another 3 months. The policeman appeared in the District A Magistrates Court on Monday before Acting Magistrate Alison Seal and was once again remanded to Dodds Prison. Mr. Gittens has been charged in the murder of Selwyn Blues Knight. He is also accused of recklessly engaging in conduct that put Mr. Knight's son Jr. in danger of death or serious bodily harm. He is also charged with wounding Jr. with intent to maim, disfigure, or disable. These offenses allegedly took place on March 15th. When the parties return to court on August 11th, the prosecution expects to be able to proceed with the case. The 3 main telecommunications providers in Barbados have signed on to a project which they say will result in lower costs and improved information security. On Monday, Columbus Communications, Digicel, and Cable and Wireless signed a memorandum of understanding relating to what is called the Barbados Internet Exchange. Chief Financial Officer of Cable and Wireless Barbados, Patrick Hinkson, said at present an email sent from Barbados goes to Miami and then comes back to Barbados. Under the new agreement, that email will remain in the island, allowing for the faster transfer of data. 2 more service providers, Ynet and Ace Communications, are expected to sign on to the MOU at a later date. Private waste haulers held talks with Minister of the Environment Dr. Dennis Lowe on Monday for more than 3 hours. When representatives of the Waste Haulers Association emerged from the meeting at Mr. Lowe's Warren St. Michael office, spokesman Charles Reed said they were moving toward a solution. However, he said a subsequent meeting will be held with the members of the association to discuss the options. Police are investigating a fatal accident which occurred between Campaign Castle and Little Bentley St. Philip on Saturday morning. Dead is 27-year-old Jerome Nichols, whose address was given as Sunny Meadows, Nursery No. 2, 4 Road, St. Philip. According to police, a motorist made a report to the District B police station and officers discovered the body when they went to the scene. They believe Nichols was the victim of an accident involving a motor van. 6 people were rushed to hospital on Sunday night when a route taxi carrying 13 passengers overturned in Prout St. Thomas. One woman who ended up under the vehicle was said to be in serious condition. Others, including the driver, were treated at the scene. May is considered Child Month in Barbados, and a number of activities were held on Saturday dealing with the rights and needs of children. More than 100 people marched to the streets of Bridgetown calling for an end to child abuse. Addressing the rally, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite said Barbadians need to treat everyone, including children, with dignity and respect. He said parents had to be taught that children have rights. Meantime, chair of the My Child and I charity, Francine Charles, says too many children in the Caribbean are entering primary school without having the basic skills to function adequately. She made the comments at Hilton Barbados on Saturday as a number of parents participated in a day-long workshop hosted by the charity and the Child Care Board.
20%, 27% of our Caribbean children have not acquired the basic levels or the kinds of stimulation that they need and acquire the basic skills to make them really competent and proficient when they have reached the primary school. The crux of that statistic is that it leads to what we call the cycle of the haves and the have-nots. So you go to school and one child somehow seems in one particular socioeconomic group, seems to somehow be straggling behind, and we want to categorize that as maybe not being able to learn, as hardies, etc. It has to do with the start that they're getting. And so what's happening in some cases is that those who have the access to the stimulation, they're getting ahead faster. And so in a way we can almost sit down, look at a group of children and say, we know who's going to go to what school.
And over at Charleston Park, St. Michael, the focus was on reading as the Lions Club of Barbados staged a reading expo. More than 30 students from Hinesbury, Bay Primary and Wilkie Cumberbatch were were treated to a number of activities, including storytelling, puppetry, and poetry. In sport, West Indies women beat Sri Lanka by 18 runs on the Duckworth-Lewis method in the second one-day international on Monday. West Indies scored 215 for 3 in 50 overs behind half-centuries from Stephanie Taylor and Deandra Dottin. Sri Lanka were restricted to 170 for 8 in 40.2 overs. And finally, on Monday, a Brooklyn Law School professor celebrated his birthday on campus, surrounded by colleagues and friends. Now you may say there's nothing unusual about that, but Joseph Crea is 100 years old, and he taught at the school for 6 decades, stopping only last September. Now he advises faculty members, sits on the admissions committee, and attends faculty meetings. Happy birthday to him. And that's Nation News for Monday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.